Hey, what's up? I'm Innocent Host, and before you click off this video, I just want to ask you for a moment of your time. Because today I want to talk about a game that means a lot to me, a game called Journey. And it's not because of its story or its mechanics, but because of what it taught me about fleeting connections, and how someone can change your life without ever being a permanent part of it. Journey says so much without ever saying a word. Now, if you've been around this channel for a while, you already know how these love letters go. But if this is your first time here, first of all, welcome. I make more slower, more reflective videos about games, the feelings they leave behind, and the lessons they quietly teach us. If that sounds like something you'd enjoy, consider liking and subscribing. I created this channel to resonate with people, to maybe offer a perspective they hadn't considered before. And if anything in this video speaks to you, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. My channel is still pretty small right now, but I'm hoping to grow it and reach more people over time. So in a way, I'm on a journey too. And I'd love for you to join me on this, journey. So with that all being said, let's get into it. I was alone, walking toward a goal. Then out of nowhere, someone else showed up. We didn't speak. We didn't even know each other's names. But we walked the same path for a while. And their presence alone was enough for me to keep going. So, at the beginning of the game, you are alone, with only the sound of wind shifting through the sand beneath your feet. You're not entirely sure what your objective is, so you kind of just decide to move forward. That's when you see it. A mountain with a beam of light coming out of its peak. Naturally, that becomes your goal. And by now you must be thinking, wow, Innocent Host, another video on reaching the peak of a mountain. Didn't you do this for your last video? To that I say, trust me, I know, but I think this is a good theme. The climb towards the peak resembles the journey we are currently taking to reach our goals. And honestly, I just might make a video on peak next. Nah, I'm kidding. Or am I? Jokes aside, there's no dialogue, no one telling you what to do or where to go. You're simply alone, standing in a vast world with so much to explore. It's not sad, nor is it dramatic, it's actually pretty peaceful. Something about it is very comforting. Or maybe that's just the introvert in me talking. Now, the last game I covered was A Short Hike, and just like that game, Journey doesn't rush you. It allows you to take your time. For a while, it almost seems like being alone is how you experience this game. It feels like that's the whole point of the game. For now, that is. Journey understands something so simple but important. Being alone is not something to fix. It's where you begin. Eventually, you just might run into someone who changes everything.
It's so sad Steve Jobs died of ligma.
Who the hell is Steve Jobs?
Ligma balls.
Out of nowhere, they suddenly appear, a figure just like you. And suddenly, you're not alone anymore. My first time playing Journey, I didn't even know this was a thing. Just like anyone, I thought it was an NPC. Then he suddenly chirped at me. That's when I knew this was an actual person standing in front of me. And he was just standing there, menacingly.
He's just standing there, menacingly! Get out of there, SpongeBob!
What I find so fascinating is that there's no indication of this happening. You're not even sure whether you joined their world or they joined yours. They just appeared. There's no loading screen, no notification, or not even a fucking Dark Souls invaded by Larry. One moment you're alone, and the next, they are just there. At first, you don't even know what to make of them. They look like you, move like you, and you don't even know what their name is. And it's not like there's a chat to actually discuss with them. The only way of communicating with this person is through, well, chirping. And that's it. That's literally the whole conversation. I find that hilarious, but also perfect. You're not meant to know anything about this person. And that's what Journey gets right. A connection like no other. A connection that, for just one moment in your life, feels like it lasted decades. A friendship formed by simply chirping, knowing that you are no longer alone on this journey. You're never given a reason to trust this person, but for some reason, you just do. Something just clicks, and the next thing you know, you're walking side by side with this person. Not because the game forces you, but because it simply feels right. You may go on ahead, but something about leaving them behind stops you in your tracks. Maybe because in the beginning, you've experienced what it was like to be alone. Now that you aren't, you simply don't want to be alone anymore. Without exchanging a single word, you both start to understand how to move with each other. You help each other reach higher places. You recharge each other's scarves. You stick close to each other during the colder sections. Because being alone there just doesn't feel right. This whole time, you could just go on alone and leave them behind completely. The game won't punish you for it. However, I find that you'll probably punish yourself. That gnawing feeling of regret for leaving them behind. In my experience, it seems like most people are excited to see another person in this game. I know I definitely was. Once you notice another person walking beside you, you just want to stick close to them. That's what makes this connection so meaningful. There's no obligation here, no reward system telling you, hey, good job for being a good person. You help each other simply because you no longer want to feel that isolation. You notice how good it feels to have someone alongside you sharing the same experience. In a way, it feels like Journey mirrors that experience to life itself. We meet people almost every day. People who might just be there for a moment in our lives, such as classmates, coworkers, complete strangers. Even if it doesn't feel like it, these connections provide such a big impact in our lives. These people quietly walk alongside us for just a moment, helping us notice things we may have not seen before, then quietly moving on. Sometimes you don't always realize how important they are until they're gone. Journey gets this feeling right, showing how these connections may not be permanent, but they are necessary. There's a moment in this game where you and your companion are sliding through the sand with each other. No danger, no objective, just plain and simple movement. I couldn't help but smile during this part. Not because of something big was happening, but because nothing was. It was just two people sharing a moment that didn't need to last forever in order to matter. And that's the thing about fleeting connections. They don't need permanence to be meaningful. They don't need words to be understood. Sometimes just walking together, even briefly, is enough. Now, unfortunately, this new friend of ours can't stick around forever. Eventually, you must get to the end of this journey. I think they start to realize that as well, because when you get to the colder climates of this game, you start to stick together during those snowstorms, almost like you're both trying to provide warmth for one another. It's a bittersweetness to the end. That's the beauty of this game. Now, I could have made this video about Journey's true interpretation, a game that was more meant to describe the process of life, death, and rebirth. But I chose to do this video on the aspect that most people didn't really consider. The connection you make with a complete stranger. A connection that is fleeting. When I was in high school, I had a teacher who asked the class, if you were stuck on a deserted island, what would you bring with you? Now, being the dumb teens we were, most of us said things like, I'm bringing a phone, or I'll bring so much food. I don't know, man. I guess I'll just bring my copy of Knack 2. Then he hit us with the reality of that question, just by simply saying, I'm surprised no one mentioned bringing another person with them. At the time, I was confused. Now, why wouldn't you bring something that could help with your survival? Especially that copy of Knack 2, like come on man, what, you get so many game time hours on that? Then again, you're not really bringing a PlayStation or a TV. I'm getting off topic. Now, as I gotten older, I understand. What would be the point if there was no one else to share it with? As humans, we are naturally social creatures. We want to have meaningful connections with people because that is simply how we are built. What would be the point of any of this if we didn't have others to share it with? Happiness would feel empty, sadness would feel lonely, anger would feel uncontrollable, and goals? Well, they would feel meaningless. Without these connections to share our life with, then could you really call it a life at all? Now, I'm sorry, I don't mean to say this to make you sad. I'm saying this because in a way, I'm trying to make that connection with you, the viewer. I make these videos in hopes that it resonates with whoever watches them. So leave a comment down below. I promise I'll reply with my own thoughts. Now, the hardest thing about these connections is when it's time to say goodbye. Whether it be a stranger, or maybe a friendship that fizzled out, or perhaps a relationship that didn't work out, or even a passing of a family member. These experiences we share in life is what makes us human. The beauty of Journey, to me, doesn't come from its world or its soundtrack, even though both of those things are amazing. No, the beauty for me of this game comes from the moment when you notice you are no longer alone. That stranger looking at you, chirping their little heart out, and that connection you made with each other. Even if it was fleeting, you'll continue to carry with you, making an impact without even realizing. A connection, even for just a single moment in your life, shared the same experience as you. Journey is one of those games that does exactly what it sets out to do. It's a different experience for each person. You're meant to form your own interpretation on it. So I'm curious, what was your interpretation on the game? I'd love to read them down below. From the moment I played this game, I knew I wanted to make a video on it. What's funny is, that on my first playthrough of this game, I accidentally played it on offline mode. Then when I went to go get more footage, that's when I met someone in game. That one moment changed everything. From there, I knew exactly the theme of my video. And that's the beauty of fleeting connections. They may not last forever in our lives, but they certainly can change so much in ways that do stay with us for a lifetime. So here's my small request to you. Go out there and take a moment to make a connection with the world around you. Start a conversation, share an experience, walk alongside someone, even if it's briefly. It can make life feel so much richer, and sometimes all it takes to change a journey is realizing you don't have to walk it alone. I've played a lot of beautiful games before, but nothing quite like this. This game truly earns the name Journey. So yeah, this has been my love letter to Journey, and how fleeting connections can change the course of said journey. Let me know down below what games you think I should cover next. I'd love to hear your suggestions. Except you, Sundercosm, I swear I can already see you commenting Bubsy 3D. And I will never cover that game. It's already enough that I somehow beat that game, so yeah, I ain't covering that one, nerd. Or will I? Anyways, I just want to thank you for taking time out of your day and watching this video. It really means a lot to me, and hopefully you will stick around for any future videos. Feel free to check out my other videos while you're waiting for the next one to come out. So yeah, this has been Innocent Host, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you all. Hello, who is it?
It's the supervisor.
Hi, supervisor.
I have a case for you.
Cool.
It's a pretty spooky one, so hold on tight.
I'm holding on.
Not literally, you numbskull.
Alright, Frog Detective's on the case.
No, yeah, the screens, the intro screens for all the levels is probably the best part.
This is probably the worst part when you actually launch it and realize like
Die! Oh.
you have to do a whole level now.
Okay, I'm gonna be negative about the game now. This game's fucked.
Cole has to make shit up because he doesn't know what to say negatively.
No, genuinely the visual aspect, the soundtrack and everything, it's like goddamn. Like the soundtrack, everything, the whole aesthetic, bro. And it's got this like Chuck E. Cheese ass like voices and shit.